Hi, student. Good morning. Today we are going to discuss topic number 30. The title is excretion. And in this topic, we have to discuss the uh, structure and the function of human kidney. We will also discuss the disorder of kidney, and also we will discuss the treatment of kidney. Okay, so let's start the first slide. See here. So firstly, you should know what is the definition of excretion. Because in exam sometime the definition is given for sometime it's given for 1 mark, so sometimes the student write down the uh, removal of the waste products is called as excretion. But sometimes this definition is given for 3 marks. If you are going to write down the same definition as you wrote it before, okay, that the excretion is the process of removal of the waste materials, so you'll not get 3 marks. So you have to write down the very comprehensive definition of excretion. What is excretion? Excretion, is the process in which nitrogenous products, metabolic substances, and the substance in excess are to be removed from the body. Okay, so what are the nitrogenous products? So here you see we will discuss the different excretory product. For example, number one, is urea. Urea is formed in the liver as a result of excess amino acids, because when there is a digestion of food take place, so protein is broken down into amino acid, and it reached to the liver through the hepatic portal vein, and this excess amino acid is broken down into urea, and this urea is the nitrogenous products, okay, which has to be removed by the body. So this urea enters into the blood plasma where it is dissolved, and when this blood enters into the kidney, so the urea just removed from the blood, okay, and with urea some other waste materials are intermixed up, and it makes the urine which has to be removed from the body. So this is urea is one of the one of the excretory product. Okay, another is a metabolic product. Which is the metabolic product? That is carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide gas is the removal of carbon dioxide gas is also called as excretion, okay, which is made in the form of or by the process of metabolism. Another is excess water and salt. Okay, so excess water and salt removal is also excretion. Now let me tell you, there is a slight difference between the excretion and egestion, because sometimes the student intermix the egestions and the excretion. Excretion is the process of removal of nitrogenous waste material, as you can see, urea, uric acid, or ammonia, and the metabolic substance that you can see here, carbon dioxide gas, and the substance in excess, like excess water and salt. But here the removal of feces is not excretion. Removal feces is egestion. Okay, so in the exam paper sometime you are given these questions to differentiate between the excretion and ingestion, so you must know the difference. Now come to the next slide. Here you see, yeah, these are the three you see organs. Lungs, which are responsible to take out carbon dioxide gas from the body. Liver also responsible for the excretion, because amino acids are to be broken down into urea, and so many other compounds are detoxified in liver, which have to be removed from the body. So liver also act like a excretory organ. Kidney, the main excretory organ is kidney. Okay, and that there is a pair of kidney. So we are going to discuss detail uh, the structure and the function of kidney. Now you can see here the need for excretion. Yeah, why the excretion is important? Because if the nitrogenous waste material and toxic waste material stay for a long time in the body, they may cause poison. Okay, for example, if the CO2 stay for a long time, it make your the blood pH is acidic, okay, and this acidic pH is very dangerous for the body. Okay, another thing that is very important regarding excretion, that in excretion, the enzyme, break down so many product. Okay, so some product, are in the poisonous form, so they have to be removed from the body. Okay, so now come to the next slide. See the role of liver. Yes, what is the role of liver? Many digest food molecule absorbed into the blood in the small intestine are carried to the liver for assimilation. When the food is to be assimilated, okay, then some compounds, okay, specifically like the product of protein, like amino acid, enters into the liver. These include amino acid which used to build protein, such as fibrinogen, a protein found in blood plasma that is important in blood clotting. Excess amino acids absorbed in the blood that are needed to make protein, which cannot be stored. So they are broken down in the process called deamination. Means when amino acid enters into the liver, so some amino acids are broken down to gives energy. Some amino acids uh, uh, are converted into the urea. So now see, enzyme in the liver splits the amino acids molecule. The part of the molecule which contains the carbon is turned into the glycogen and is stored. The other part which contains nitrogen is turned into ammonia, which is highly toxic, and is immediately converted to urea, which is less toxic. The urea dissolved in the blood and is taken to the kidney to be excreted. The small amount is also excreted in sweat. Now see here, there is a structure of the urinary system. In urinary system, you can see that there is a pair of kidney. You can see the bean shape kidney, and these kidney, the renal artery enters into the kidney, and this renal artery having the blood which is full with oxygen, but it also has urea and some excess minerals. So this renal artery, transporting the blood to the kidney, but the useful thing for kidney, is oxygen, but the excess of urea, okay, and excess of minerals, okay, they have to be removed from the blood, okay, which job is to be carried out by kidney. Another you can see here, the vein, that is the renal vein that takes the blood, okay, from the kidney, and this blood contain high amount of carbon dioxide gas, okay, and low amount of urea, okay, but the glucose it has to be same, a little same, and the minerals amount also is to be reduced, because the excess urea, minerals, even water, okay, become the part of urine, okay, and all these materials enters into the ureter, and this ureter goes to the, like, the bladder, where the urine stay for some time. After that, it is to be passed out by the urethra. So this is the about the urinary system of human. Now come to the, like, the brief, like, detail about the kidney, ureter, bladder, and urethra. You can see kidney, two bean-shaped organs that filter the blood. Ureter, the tube connecting the kidney to the bladder, and the bladder organ that stores urine, excess water, salt, and urea as it is produced by the kidney. Now, what about the urethra? Urethra tube that connects the bladder to the exterior where urine is released. Now, there is also like the structure and the function of kidney. If you are going to study, like, the structure of the kidney, so you will see that the kidney, external view of the kidney, external part is called as a cortex. This is the outer region of the kidney. The cortex contain nephrons. Nephron, these are the special type of cells which are responsible to make urine, or in other words, you could say that nephron is the structural and functional unit of kidney. So nephron, you see here the functional unit of kidney. It contains the glomerulus, which is where the blood is filtered and glucose, urea, water, and salt are removed. Now tubule, in the nephron, there is a cup-shaped structure. This is called as the glomerulus or Bowman capsule. Inside the Bowman capsule, there is a tubular structure that we call as a glomerulus. Okay, we will also discuss its diagram after this slide. So medulla, the inner region of the kidney, and ureter that is connected to the kidney and goes to the bladder. Now come to the diagram. You can see here the external part of the kidney, as you can see here, this is a cortex, and inner part, is medulla. But the nephron, some part of nephron is in the cortex and some part of nephron is in the medulla. Okay, so the function of nephrons, is to filter the blood, okay, and make urines, okay, which has to be enters into the ureter, and this ureter goes to the bladder. Now come to the next slide. You can see here waste substances that needs to be removed from the blood. Which waste substances, okay, when the blood enters into the kidney, so which waste substances are removed by the kidney? So number one, you can see here the urea. The excess amount of urea is to be removed from the blood. Okay, excess hormones, excess water, you see excess salt or ions. Which salt and ions are there? You can see in the diagram that sodium, chlorine, magnesium, calcium, and bicarbonate. Uric acid, some organism release a high amount of uric acid, and some, ammonia. For example, like, the fish remove high amount of ammonia as a waste product, and birds, use release high amount of uric acid as a waste product. So this all function is to carried out by the kidney. Now we are going to discuss the detailed structure and the function of nephrons. So if you are going to study the structure, the function of nephron, you will see that the nephron, is having a cup-like structure. Okay, this is called as the Bowman capsule. Okay, and inside that you can see there is a network of capillaries. Okay, this is called as a glomerulus. So when the blood enters into the kidney, okay, so it enters into the nephrons. Which part of nephron? That is the glomerulus, where like, the filtration of blood take place. Okay, as you can see that glomerulus take the waste materials, okay, in the form of urea, water, minerals, even some glucose also enters into the glomerulus. Then, there is a first tubule. You can see here, this is after glomerulus, there's a first tubules, okay, where, like, the all these material enters, okay, and then it enters into the U-tube structure, that is we call as the Bowman uh, a loop of Hanle. Loop of Hanle. This is a loop of Hanle. Okay. When, like, the glucose, urea, and minerals enters into the first tubule, so there is a reabsorption of glucose, a reabsorption of minerals take place here. Because if the glucose, if the minerals are in excess quantity, even the water in excess quantity, it has to be absorbed from the collecting duct, as you can see the last part of this. Okay, so the blood that containing the glucose, okay, it is reabsorbed. The minerals, some amount of mineral are to be reabsorbed. Okay, even some water, is to be reabsorbed. Okay, so here you can see, like, different structures of the different structure of the nephrons. They are working very well. uh, Bowman capsule, glomerulus, first tubule, and that loop of Hanle or U-tube shape. Okay, and then, like, convoluted tubules, and then collecting duct. All these collecting ducts, opens into the pelvis, and pelvis opens into the ureter, as you can see here. Okay, and ureter, goes to the unibladder, from where uh, the urine pass out through the urethra. So the same diagram you can see here. Okay. Okay. So different processes which are involved, okay, in the excretion, which is carried out by the nephron, the ultrafiltration, which take place in the first tubules. Okay, and second, like second things you can see here, the selective reabsorption of glucose, which is carried out, okay, in the first tubule, and filtration take place in the Bowman capsule, you can see. And the third, the third salt are reabsorbed by diffusion. Okay, so process name also mentioned there. Water also reabsorbed due to the osmosis. Okay, and the collecting duct, finally the collecting duct is there from where the different amount of water. Okay, if the water is going in high quantity, it is also reabsorbed. And then all these tubules, all this collecting duct opens into the pelvis, and pelvis opens into the ureter. Okay, so you can see here the arrows shows the movement of, see, uh, this green arrow shows the filtrate, okay, and blue arrow shows the glucose. How, like the glucose is again reabsorbed in the bloodstream. And salt, you can see the red, light red, okay, uh, some amount of salt also reabsorbed, you can see, and water in the YouTube, or like the loop of Hanley, the water is also being reabsorbed. Okay, so filtration, okay, and reabsorption, and finally excretion. So see, there are basically three functions of nephrons. First, like the filtration, which has to be done in the Bowman capsule. Okay, and second is the reabsorption, which is to be carried out by the first tubule, okay, or proximal tubule. And then, like the reabsorption also in the loop of Hanley, and also little reabsorption of water take place in the collecting duct. Okay, means the water and some glucose, okay, from all these tubular structures, enters into the blood if the excess amount of minerals are moving into the urine path. Then finally, excretion of all the collecting duct opens into the into the pelvis, and pelvis open into the ureter, and then bladder, and finally it is passed out from the urethra. Now kidney dialysis, yes, sometimes there is a problem in the kidney, and sometimes there are kidney stones, okay, or sometimes there is a severe infection due to which the kidney are in disorder, they are not working. So there is an artificial way to remove the urea from the kidney. So see, the useful treatment for someone with kidney failure is dialysis. This is an artificial method of filtering the blood to remove toxins and excess substances. Patients are connected to a dialysis machine which act as an artificial kidney to remove most of the urea and restore or maintain the water and salt balance of the body, of the blood. Then unfiltered blood is taken from the artery in the arm, pumped into the dialysis machine, and then returned to a vein in the arm. Inside the machine, the blood and dialysis fluid are separated by partially permeable membrane. The blood flows in the opposite direction to dialysis the fluid, allowing exchange to occur between the two where concentrations gradient exists. Dialysis fluid contains, see, the glucose concentration similar to the normal level in the blood. A concentration of salt similar to normal level in the blood, and no urea. There is no urea in the dialysis fluid. Okay, as you can see in the diagram, okay, how this process is going on. Okay, in the dialyzing fluid, there is no urea, but there is a same concentration of glucose as in the blood. Okay, so but there is no urea, so of course, like the urea enters into the dialyzing tube. Okay, and that has to be removed from the blood. So this is, diagrammatically you can see that the whole process explained, that what is the concentration of dialyzing fluid, okay, how it is to be removed. Now, kidney transplant vs dialysis, yes. The next question is that dialysis, is a the long lasting process. Okay. And dialysis, is carried out twice in a week, and each session is about 2 to 3 hours, and the patient has to visit 2 or 3 times in the hospital. So actually, uh, there should be, like, the permanent solution for the kidney problem. So the permanent solution, is the kidney transplant. Once, like, the matched kidney is to be obtained, then it is to be transplant. Okay, so see here, what is kidney transplant are better long-term solutions to kidney failure than dialysis. However, there are several disadvantages of kidney transplant, including donor won't have the same antigens on cell surfaces. Means sometime, the kidney is transplanted, but it is not matched, so it is to be rejected by our own immune system. So this is a big problem. Means the kidney that should be matched, okay, totally or fully with a recipient. So it's not an easy job. This has to be suppressed by taking immunosuppressive drugs. Yes, see, during kidney transplant, immunosuppressive drugs are to be given to the patient. So the immune system of that person is going to be very low. Okay, and at that time, the person has to be, okay, in the full monitoring and in the isolated room. Okay, because the even the weaker germs can infect him, because at that time the immune system is very weak. There are not enough donors to cope with the demand. Yes, of course, like, uh, nobody wants to donate his kidney. Okay, and if the kidney is matched, okay, either the person is agreed to donate his kidney or not. Okay, so sometime, this is too much expensive, to have a kidney transplant. However, if a healthy close matched kidney is available, then the benefits of a transplant over dialysis include, what are the benefits? See, the patient has much more freedom, as they are not tied to having dialysis several times a week in one place. Okay, if the kidney transplant is successful, then the person get rid of dialysis, which takes much time, and also there is a wastage of a lot of money, and also the person has to give too much time to the hospital. Their diets can be much less restrictive than they are when on dialysis. Okay, if the kidney is fully, like, fully successful, the kidney transplant fully successful, then the person is free to take the free diet. Okay, even it takes, like, the proteinous diet, because during dialysis, there are so many restrictions, regarding the diet. Use of dialysis machine is very expensive. Yes, machine is very expensive. If you want to keep this machine in your home, it's very expensive. So this cost is removed. Okay, you don't have to spend too much money in dialyzing process, or uh, purchasing the machine. A kidney transplant is long-term solution where dialysis will only work for a limited time. Yes, kidney transplant long-term, but dialysis, will only work for a limited time. So this is, you see, this is the last topic, kidney transplant. Yes, okay, dialysis, the comparison, what are the advantages and disadvantages of kidney transplant and dialysis. We have finished this topic too. Okay, if you have any question, any problem, okay, so my WhatsApp number is given here, my email address is given here. Okay, also the same lecture is available. Some lecture, is available on the YouTube and the TikTok. You can just give the comments. Okay. Hope you understand very well. Thank you very much. Bye.